Hi, boys and girls. I'm so happy to be talking with you again. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And today we are going to start our new math unit, which is really exciting. This unit is going to be all about geometry. So we're going to learn about all different kinds of shapes and how to measure them and all that fun stuff. So for our first lesson, we're going to look at two-dimensional shapes. And we'll go into details on what that means on the next page. But I just want you to think about some examples, which would be a circle, a hexagon, a square, a rectangle, and a triangle. These are some examples of two-dimensional shapes. Now I'm going to zoom in here just so you can see a little bit better. A two-dimensional shape is a shape with only length and width. So what that means, boys and girls, is when we are trying to measure two-dimensional shapes, we're only going to be able to measure them by how long or how wide they are. That's the only two measurements we're going to use when we're looking at two-dimensional shapes. We've got some of our same examples on this page. We've got a circle, a triangle, a square, a rectangle. Then we've got a pentagon, which means there are 5 sides. A hexagon, which means there are 6 sides. A parallelogram, which means that all of the sides are parallel, which means that they are running the same way. So see how this one is slanted a little bit, and so is this one. That means they're parallel. They're never going to run into each other. And this funny shape is called a trapezoid. So keeping that in mind, let's take a look at number 1. We're going to circle the shapes in each one that match the name. So in this first one, we're again going to look at that parallelogram. And again, that means that our sides are going to be parallel, which means they are never going to cross each other. So let's take a look. This first one, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This has 6 sides, which tells me from up here that it's a hexagon. So that can't be it. Then this one, I see that this side is slanted and this side is slanted, which makes me think this might be a parallelogram. Let's look up here to our example, and they look identical. So we are going to circle, this guy here. And then this one, as we all know, this is just a circle, so that's not going to be it. And this one over here, I know it looks kind of funny, but let's take a look at the sides. This one is straight, and this one is straight, okay. And then we've got 1 slanted side and 2 slanted sides. And these are parallel to each other, which means that we have another parallelogram. So we're going to circle that one too. Okay, so even if they're twisted a certain way, as long as they follow the same rules, it means that they can be the same shape. Now for number 2, let's take a look. We're looking for triangles. Now this first one has 1, 2, 3 sides. This means that this is a triangle, which is probably the one we're most familiar with. This one over here, this is a diamond shape. So this, or a parallelogram, it could be. So this is not our triangle. This one here, let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3. 3 sides means this one is also a triangle. And it's okay that it's flipped on its side. Remember, as long as it follows that rule of having 3 sides, it's a triangle. And this one over here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. This is a pentagon, so we would not circle this one. Okay? And down here, we're going to write the name of the shape. So if we count up the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sides. If we go up to our examples, can you find the one that has 6 sides? If you said hexagon, you would be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hexagon, very good. So I'm going to write an H just for sake of time, but go ahead and write hexagon on this line down here. And then we're going to look over here and circle the shape that matches. So does this shape match? We only have 4 sides here, so I don't think this one's going to count. This one also only has 4 sides, and this is called a trapezoid, this funny shape. So that's not going to work. This one looks like it could work. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're one side short. This is a pentagon. So that means this one's our hexagon. And we can double check by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So very good, boys and girls. Now, while I move on to the next page, I want you to turn and talk to an adult or someone around you and discuss what is the difference between a pentagon and a hexagon and how are they alike. So take a second. You can look at our example. You can look at down here and how I explain that. How are they different and how are they alike? Okay, let's look at our independent practice page. So just like before, you're going to go ahead and look through each shape and feel free to reference that page before if you need some help, if you're stuck, because there are some new shapes to our vocabulary. So you're going to go ahead and circle the shape that matches. For number 4, we're looking for trapezoids. For number 5, we're looking for hexagon. For number 6, we're looking for triangle. And for number 7, we're looking for pentagon. Now remember, you got to find the ones, find the shape or shapes, there might be multiple, that are under this name and circle them. For number 8 and 9, you're going to write the name of the shape on the line, and then you're going to circle the shape on the other side that matches. So for this one, for number 8, you're going to have to figure out what shape this is and write it here, and then circle the shape that matches over here. And for number 9, same thing, write what shape this is on this line, and then circle the shape that matches over here. For number 10, you're going to have to look at the shapes and circle the shape that doesn't belong in each group. So take a look at all 4 shapes for 10 and 11, and you're going to circle the one that doesn't match everybody else. Okay, so pay close attention, watch your sides, watch what they look like, and circle the ones that don't belong. Okay, and let's take a look at the back page. For number 12, it wants you to identify the shape of each sign. So these are signs that we see on the road. They're called road signs. But I just want you to pay attention to the shape and then write what the shape is on the line underneath each sign. For number 13, you're going to look at all of the shapes in this big box, and you're going to count up how many triangles, hexagons, rectangles, squares, pentagons, and circles you see in this big box here. You're going to look at all these shapes, count them up, and sort them. And for our brain builder down here, for our MyMath, I want you to give some examples of objects in your school. So at Littlejohn, think about what you see every day that look like triangles and squares. It could be in our classroom, it could be in the library, anything that you see at school that looks like triangles and squares. Okay? And that's it. You guys are rock stars. I know you're going to nail this. If you have any questions, please feel free to have a parent contact me, or you can contact me and give it your best shot. Good luck, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.